Good morning, Rise families. A couple of you have called me and asked what you can do to keep your child's language development going. And one of my favorite strategies that you've heard me talk about for years is auditory bombardment. But what does that really look like in your house? So I thought I'd take this opportunity to sort of educate you parents about ways to just do that with things around your home. So we're going to go from our youngest friends to our oldest friends with a couple of strategies. So first I walked around my house. Now, even though I have teenagers, because of the work I do, I've kept a lot of younger toys. I couldn't find my little sheep for my barn, but if we're going to do the B sound, that's what we're going to use as an example today. I would have my Fisher-Price barn, and I would have my sheep, and I would be playing with the sheep saying ba all the time. I might also have these three little friends. I don't know if you can see them. So we have a beetle. Whoop. We have a bee who can buzz right there. And we have a ladybug. I encourage you to go on a bug hunt in your house. Outside, you can look at blooms as well. Don't usually love the consonant blends, but fine for right now. You can find a bowl. You can find a box. Chances are you've had lots of deliveries and there are lots of boxes around your house. You can find bubbles. You can find a ball. Let me put some of these back out here. You can find a bag, probably. A backpack. There happens to be a whiteboard at my house with assignments that are somewhat getting done. Book. Lip balm. I would just call it balm if y'all use this in your house. I couldn't find a bath bomb. I found a bath scrunchie, and I obviously couldn't get a bathtub in here or a bed on this camera. We're going to draw the line at y'all looking at my children's unmade beds in my bedroom. And a bead. So these are the things that I found around my house that start with B. So if I was going to do 5 to 10 minutes of auditory bombardment with our youngest kids, I would gather these things. I might do blocks. Again, that's a BL blend, but I would just overemphasize the B and de-emphasize the L part of it. The book, and I would put all these things in front of the kids. Let me see if I can kind of get my little handy board. Y'all see me use it all the time at school. I would have all these things in front of us, and I would sit down and I would play with your kid. And as I touched everything, I would label it. The book. The block is on the book. Block off. Beetle, 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 beetle. Bug. Do you want to play with the ball? Should we bounce the ball? Ball. So while you're doing this, you're effectively, if you're labeling everything you're touching, you are going to say that B sound anywhere from 50 to 100 times in just those 5 to 10 minutes. You're not trying to make comprehensive sentences. You're just labeling the objects and flooding the auditory nerve with that B sound. Hopefully, your child is also shifting their visual attention from your mouth with those compressed lips to the object and associating the word with the label for the object. Now, if your kid already has the consonant sound that you've chosen to work on that day, what you are now listening for is variation in the following vowel. So what you want is to hear a difference between ba and b, a really retracted vowel sound, and versus the open vowel sound. You don't want it all to sound this. You don't want this to be ba for both of them. You want ba and you want b. Okay? This is ba. So you've got 3 different vowels there. If you've nailed that consonant B, now you're looking for differentiation for vowels. Okay, so some of our kids need more movement to learn. So there are things that you can do that involve B sounds. You can be silly. You can take that B and bzz, it all around. You can bend things. You can put things in or take them out of the bag, the backpack, and the box. And you can do that from across the room. If you need to work on mobility, put your box here, put your B toys and objects across the room, and tell them to go get it. And when they bring it back, you got the bubbles. You brought me bubbles. Should we blow bubbles? Do you want a big bubble or do you want little bubbles? Blow it slowly or fast. That's how you get them, big or little. If you're with monkey mouths, you've probably seen this card. You can add this to the play too, the bouncing ball visual cue sound. You can also do this, buh. That's usually the gesture for our more kinesthetic kids that I do to try to get them to put their lips together for the B sound. Okay, so we've got consonant vowel. Now you can kind of do some other things if you want to. If you've got 2 blocks, you can compare big and little. You can make things out of them. You can do all of that. If you are well established with all your phonemic repertoire, you don't need to target any specific sounds, but you do want to target some literacy. You are going to go on a scavenger hunt for things in your house that start with the sound. So going super low tech, unless you just really love your printer, you're going to get your piece of paper and your marker. Note to my OT, I'm using a small pipsqueak marker. And you can make, depending on where you are with your kids learning, you can make a big B or a little b. Okay? And then you just, if you want to work on your scissor skills, you can cut those out or have your kid cut them out. Or if you're sitting here recording in your bedroom, you can just tear the piece of paper and get a piece of tape, and then you're going to go on a hunt. And you're going to find things in your house that start with the B sound. Something in the kitchen, a banana. If you're going to have snack, you could have banana and berries and bread. Again, a blend, but we're going to go with it. And you can put them all in the bowl, and now you have said the B sound 4 times. And you've put your little printed B, taped it on there. So you scavenge your house. One cautionary thing, like chairs are really common, but the CH thing is tricky. I wouldn't label a chair with a C. Don't do that. Okay, we talked about snacks, so you can do bread and berries and bananas for snack. What was the other thing I was going to tell y'all to do? Oh, contrast. When you are working on sounds, if the child can produce the sound, you want to do a comparison. So with our older kids, when we're mapping, mapping a phoneme sound, I would often do, which one starts with B? Which one has the B sound at the beginning? The ball. And depending on how hard you want to make it, you have 2 or you have 3 or you have 4. Sometimes you might ask them, you might have 2 things. You might say, show me 2 toys that start with the B sound. So when you're doing this concentrated practice, you can do it for as long as your kid can stay with you. Younger, it's going to be 5 to 10 minutes. After you do those 5 to 10 minutes of concentrated play, leave them alone with those materials as long as none of them are choking hazards or anything like that. Even with the bubbles, you can screw it on really, really tight, and most of our younger friends don't quite have the wrist rotation and strength to undo it yet, but they might really want those, and they might bring them to you or yell at you and ask you for it, and that just gives you another chance to say, bubble, you want bubble, and wait for them to try and do it. This is the sign for bubble. if they don't actually say it, but you want to get some initiation of communication from them. Okay, so that is a way to work on phonemes. If I can be smart enough to figure out how to make some lists, if you'll make a comment on what are some ideas for a certain phonemic sound that you want to work on, I'll reply to you with lists of items that might be around your house or that you could make. So hopefully that is helpful. Thank you for those of you that have signed up to chat with me on Sign Up Genius. I love individually solving these problems and coming up with activities for you. Oh, beans. If you're doing a sensory bin with Rachel, there's another good bee one. And you can put all of your little bee toys in the bin with the beans. So please keep doing that or comment, and I will do my best to improve my technological skills and reply to you. Have a great day.